Chosen one, tonight is not random, and this moment is not accidental. If you are listening to this right now, there is a reason your spirit would not let you scroll past. Something inside you paused before your mind could explain why. That pause is the hook. That stillness is the signal. God is calling you tonight, and this call is not for everyone. It is for the one who is willing to listen when the world grows quiet. There have been nights like this before, when your body was tired but your spirit refused to sleep. You tried to distract yourself, but nothing truly held your attention. Thoughts kept returning, not loud, not dramatic, just persistent. A sense that something unfinished was hovering over your life. That sense did not come from anxiety, it came from awareness. God often calls in moments like this, when defenses are low and hearts are open. You may have felt overlooked lately, as if your effort goes unseen and your faith unrewarded. You have done the right thing even when it cost you relationships, comfort, and clarity. And still, questions remain. That is exactly why this message found you. God is not silent toward those who seek Him sincerely. Silence is often preparation, not absence. Tonight, heaven is not asking you to perform or prove anything. God is not calling you to impress Him. He is calling you to remember who you are. You were not created to blend in with noise or shrink under pressure. There is something distinct about the way you think, the way you feel, the way you carry empathy and discernment. You noticed long ago that you never quite fit where others were comfortable. That was never a flaw. It was a mark. There have been moments you questioned yourself, wondering if you were too sensitive, too intense, too different. But those very traits are the ones God shaped for purpose. What feels heavy tonight is not confusion, it is transition. And transitions always come with weight before they bring release. God is calling you because He trusts you with what comes next. This calling is not loud or forceful. It does not demand, it invites. Many ignore it because it requires honesty. It requires letting go of the version of life that feels familiar but no longer fulfills you. God knows you have outgrown certain spaces, even if leaving them feels uncertain. Think about the times you felt protected without understanding how. Doors closed that you once prayed would open. Relationships faded that you tried to save. Plans fell apart at the last minute. At the time, it felt like loss. Tonight, God wants you to see it as guidance. You were being redirected, not rejected. Preserved, not punished. This call is coming now because you are ready to hear it without running. Earlier seasons would have overwhelmed you. Earlier versions of you would have doubted too much. But tonight, even with questions, you are willing to listen. That willingness is why you were chosen to hear this message. God sees the battles you never spoke about, the quiet discipline, the tears wiped away before anyone noticed, the faith you held onto when there was no evidence to support it. None of it was wasted. Nothing you endured was meaningless. Every delay refined your discernment. Every disappointment sharpened your dependence on God rather than people. You may not fully understand what God is calling you toward yet, and that is okay. Clarity does not come before obedience. It follows it. Right now, God is simply asking for your attention. Not tomorrow. Not when everything makes sense tonight. There is a reason this call feels gentle instead of dramatic. God is teaching you to recognize His voice without chaos. When God speaks, peace accompanies it, even if the message challenges you. If you feel calm beneath the emotion, that is confirmation. Do not dismiss this moment as coincidence or emotion. Spiritual moments are often subtle because they require discernment. If everyone could recognize them, they would not require faith. You are sensing this because you are spiritually awake, even if you did not realize it until now. Tonight is an invitation to pause, reflect, and align. To stop fighting the current and let God lead. You do not need to fix your entire life in one night. You only need to say, "I'm listening." That single posture changes everything. God is calling you tonight because something new is forming, and it begins with awareness. Stay still, stay open. This is the beginning, and it was meant for you. God is calling you now because you have reached a point where staying the same would cost you more than changing. You have been standing at the edge of something unfamiliar, sensing that the old patterns no longer fit, yet the new direction has not fully revealed itself. This tension you feel is not confusion, it is invitation. Heaven is asking you to move forward even when certainty has not yet arrived. There are things you have been holding onto out of habit, not purpose. People, routines, thoughts, even wounds that once shaped you but no longer serve where God is taking you. Letting go feels risky because familiarity feels safe, even when it limits growth. But God never calls someone forward without also giving them the strength to release what is behind. You may have noticed that conversations feel empty, environments feel draining, and goals that once excited you now feel heavy. This is not ingratitude, it is discernment developing. God is refining your appetite so you stop feeding on what keeps you small. When God shifts your desires, it is because He is realigning your destiny. This is the season where obedience matters more than explanation. You do not need validation from people who cannot see what God revealed to you in private. Some will misunderstand your silence. Others will question your boundaries. But boundaries are not rejection, they are protection. God is teaching you how to guard what is sacred before it is revealed. You have already been tested in ways few people know. Your patience was stretched. Your faith was challenged. Your character was shaped in hidden places where applause was absent. That is why this calling comes with trust. God does not hand responsibility to those who seek attention. He entrusts it to those who learned obedience in quiet. Do not mistake resistance for failure. The pushback you feel is confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. Growth always provokes discomfort, especially when it disrupts old identities. The version of you that survived cannot lead where God is taking you. You are being reshaped for something greater than survival. There will be moments when you want clarity before commitment. But God works in reverse of human logic. He asks for commitment before clarity because faith is built through movement. When you take the step you can see, the next one appears. Waiting for everything to make sense will keep you stuck at the threshold. God is also calling you to confront what you have been avoiding. Not to shame you, but to free you. Unaddressed pain does not disappear, it quietly shapes decisions. Healing is not forgetting, it is understanding without fear. God is ready to heal what you thought you had to live with. This call also involves separation. Not isolation, but distinction. You are being asked to come out of agreement with things that dull your spirit, distractions that waste your energy, voices that distort truth. God is narrowing your focus so your impact can widen. What feels like loss now will become gain later. You may feel unqualified, but calling does not come after confidence. Confidence comes after obedience. God qualifies through process, not perfection. Your willingness matters more than your readiness. If you wait until you feel fully prepared, you will miss the moment prepared for you. There is urgency in this call, but not panic. Urgency means timing matters. Delayed obedience delays outcomes. God knows what doors are opening and which ones are closing. He is calling you now because alignment cannot wait forever. Seasons do not pause until we feel comfortable. Listen closely, you are not being asked to do this alone. God is not sending you without covering. He is walking ahead of you, clearing what you cannot see. What feels uncertain to you is already known to Him. Trust is built when you step where only God can sustain you. This moment is about decision, not perfection. A decision to trust God more than your fear, to move forward instead of circling familiar ground, to believe that what He promised has not expired. God is calling you because the next chapter cannot begin with the old mindset. Answering this call means allowing transformation, not resisting it. Stay willing, stay teachable. What is unfolding now will soon make sense, and when it does, you will be grateful you did not turn back. God is calling you now because what you carry is meant to reach beyond you. This is not only about personal change or private healing. There are lives connected to your obedience, paths that will open because you chose to respond when it mattered. Even when you felt unseen, Heaven was watching closely, knowing that your yes would one day create a ripple you could not yet imagine. You have been underestimated before, and at times you underestimated yourself. But God never measured you by human standards. He measured your heart, your endurance, your willingness to stay faithful when results were delayed. That is why this call is coming with responsibility. You are being trusted with influence that begins quietly but grows through consistency. There will be moments ahead when your choices inspire others without a single word spoken. People will notice the peace you carry, the boundaries you keep, the clarity in your direction. Your transformation will speak louder than explanation ever could. This is how God uses chosen ones, not through noise, but through presence. The fear that tried to follow you into this new season is losing its authority. Fear thrives on uncertainty, but faith grows in obedience. Every step you take in alignment weakens the voice that once told you to shrink, delay, or doubt. You are not walking blindly. You are walking by trust, and trust is sight in the spiritual realm. God is also calling you to rest in Him, not strive for control. You have carried responsibility for too long, believing it was your job to make everything work. Tonight, God is releasing you from that weight. Surrender is not giving up, it is handing over what you were never meant to carry alone. Do not be surprised if clarity begins to come after this moment. Ideas, direction, and confirmation may arrive in unexpected ways. God often speaks through peace, through alignment, through doors opening naturally rather than being forced. What is meant for you will not require constant struggle. This call marks the end of a cycle where you questioned your worth and compared your path to others. Comparison fades when purpose becomes clear. Your assignment is specific. It cannot be copied or rushed. The pace God sets for you is intentional, protecting you from burnout and pride alike. There will be days when obedience feels lonely. Not everyone will understand your choices, especially those who benefited from the old version of you. But obedience always leads to deeper connection with God first and with the right people at the right time. Isolation is temporary. Alignment brings community. You are being prepared to speak life, whether through words, actions, or example. The wisdom you gain through hardship will one day comfort someone who feels lost. The strength you developed in silence will become guidance for those just beginning their journey. Nothing you endured will go unused. This is also a reminder to remain humble. Calling is not about elevation for attention. It is about service with integrity. God elevates those who stay grounded in gratitude and dependence on Him. Pride disconnects, but humility sustains. If you feel emotion rising right now, do not suppress it. This is release. Old burdens are lifting. Old fears are loosening their grip. You are stepping into alignment, and alignment brings peace that surpasses understanding. Tonight, answering God's call does not require grand declarations. It requires sincerity, a quiet agreement in your heart, a willingness to trust the process even when the outcome is still forming. Heaven responds to posture more than performance. Stay attentive in the days ahead. Small instructions will matter. Gentle nudges will guide you. God is not rushing you, but He is leading you forward. Every step taken in faith strengthens your discernment and sharpens your purpose. This is not the end of the journey. It is the confirmation that you are on the right path. God called you because He believes in what He placed inside you. And as you move forward, you will begin to see that the calling was never a burden. It was an invitation to become who you were always meant to be.